Let's continue our discussion about housekeeping fields and how to get them into your database more efficiently. We're going to show you how to do this with FileMaker Advanced, which allows you to copy and paste fields. But remember, if you don't have FileMaker Advanced, we're going to show you every option about the fields we copy and paste so you can create them from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to click OK to exit Manage Database. And then we're going to go over to the Window menu. And I have a file called Template. Now this file is provided in the Work Files section, so you can grab it and do this copy and paste yourself if you want. All it is a file with one table, and that table contains your timestamp create, timestamp mod, auto account create, and account mod. So the timestamp is a combination of date and time with a space in the middle. Timestamp mod is the same. It's a date and a time, but it records when you modified that record, not when you created it. Then you have account create and account mod. Now we haven't covered a lot about security, and we're going to cover it later, but don't worry about too much right now. What you want to know is that when you create a new FileMaker file, FileMaker automatically puts security in it for you. Basic security. It gives you a full access password, and the account is called admin. And actually there's no password on it. So every FileMaker file has security, whether it has good security or not. It has some security and it has to have it. You have no choice about that. So when you create a record, the account that's going to go in is the one that exists called admin, the full access account. But again, don't worry too much about this. It'll make more sense down the line when we learn about security, what is actually getting entered into this. But essentially, if you assign everybody a password and account, you'll know who's creating records and who's modifying them. So we're going to go to the File menu, choose Manage Database, and I highly recommend, since you're going to be going into Manage Database quite a bit, as well as some other places, to understand how these keyboard commands work. Because if you're going in and out of a lot, imagine how inefficient this is to go down here like that. You could much more quickly use a keyboard command. Even if you're a mouse person, it's a good idea to have a few keyboard commands under your belt. And the keyboard commands are right there for you. Shift Command D, or Shift Apple D for the Macintosh. On Windows it's Shift Control D. So I'd recommend learning it. I'm not going to use them here because you need to see what I'm doing, but I use them all the time. I never go to Manage Database this way. So we'll go in there, and you'll see that you have your 4 fields here. I'm going to click on the first one, hold down the Shift key, so I highlight all the way down through all of them. And then I'm going to come down here, and again, you have to have FileMaker Advanced to see this copy button. It won't be there in a regular version of FileMaker Pro. So we'll click Copy. We'll click OK. We'll switch back to our Contact Manager, go back into Manage Database, and here is our field section. We just click the Paste button, and there they are. They're all in there now. So this is much quicker, much more efficient, and cuts down on errors. You won't accidentally forget to check Prohibit Modification. So let's go over these options. Notice that this is a timestamp field. See that choice there and right there. The timestamp mod is also a timestamp. The count, create, and mod are text fields. And if we click on the timestamp create and go into options, we can see that we have create, timestamp, date, and time. Very similar to what we did with the create date. And then we have prohibit modification. And it's basically the same thing with the timestamp mod, except that you're on the next choice down, the modification choice, timestamp, date, and time. And then we have prohibit modification of value during data entry, of course.